We relax after dinner, and it's almost 9 o'clock. Well, what should I do? There's still time before my evening training. I guess I'll... I want to check what the flow chart looks like. Oh, wow. Oh, it even shows if you got a point in or not. Sweet. So I can I don't have to keep track myself exactly. I can look I can look up in the flow chart. Now, is this a divergent and choice thing? Yes, it is. So we'll actively save in another slot for that. So okay, so nothing happens if I get nothing for each of these choices, so it doesn't matter which. At least for now. Once I complete a different route, another choice will. Once I complete this route, I can make another choice. I can make this choice will matter. Oh no! Once I complete another route, this choice will matter. So I'll walk Sakura home. I haven't thanked Sakura for cooking dinner yet, so I should talk to Sakura. It's getting late, so I should walk her home. Sakura just finished cleaning up, and she is in the living room getting ready to go home. I'll take my bath later, after I walk you home. Yeah, it's been dangerous at night lately, so I'll walk you home. Your house is a pretty long walk, so let me at least do this. Since you go out of your way to come here. Sakura purses her lips awkwardly. Did I say something wrong? Maybe so, but it really hasn't been safe recently. I'll walk you home at night for a while.
その兄さん見つかると先輩にまで迷惑がかかります。
Ah. I forgot. Sakura's older brother, Shinji, doesn't really like Sakura coming over to my place. He can't say much about because Sakura says she goes to Fujini's house, but me taking her home might cause problems. I don't care if Shinji accuses me of something I didn't actually do, but I don't want him taking it out on Sakura. Because Shinji is a piece of shit. But it wouldn't be a problem if I walked you halfway, right? There's no way we'll see Shinji at the intersection. Sakura is uncomfortably silent. Knowing Sakura, she probably couldn't and even lie about the fact that I walked her home. Hey, then how about...
私が送っていこっか?
An English teacher wearing tiger stripes suddenly pokes her head through the door. That really doesn't fix anything. My concern is that a girl is walking alone at night, so adding another girl would be... Wait a minute. Calling Fujini a girl may be a bit of a misnomer. There is a reason Fujini is a teacher in charge of the Kyoto is the teacher in charge of the Kyoto Club. She was trained by old man Fujimura in Kendo. And her 5th rank designation makes her deadly, literally and figuratively. Guess it wouldn't be a problem if you went, Fujini. I bet you could beat the crap out of any perverts who might try to strike.
できるよ。だからさくらちゃんを送っていくのも問題なし。それでいい？さくらちゃん。はい。藤村先生がよろしいのでしたら。決まりだね。それじゃあ行こっか。私も今日はそろそろ帰ろうかなって思ってたんだ。
Fujini takes Sakura's hand and starts to leave. Sakura. Hold on a minute, Sakura.
何ですか、先輩。
Dinner was good, thank you.
はい。ご迷惑でなかったら次も頑張りますね、先輩。
Sakura beams and leaves the living room. I can tell my cheeks are burning red. Honestly, Sakura takes me by surprise a lot lately. It's perplexing. It's called being a teenager. Time sure flies. Not so long ago, she was just a friend, my friend's little sister. Now I find sometimes I can't quite look away from her. I'm so pathetic. I've always thought of Sakura as being like family, but I can't seem to readily accept this change. And that is how my day ends. Just before midnight, Shiro and Mia must perform the daily routine of utilizing magecraft. I cross my legs, take my position. I ignore everything around me and turn my focus inward. Trace on. I mutter the familiar incantation, as if putting myself in a spell. No, this is a kind of hypnosis. With no magic crest and no magical knowledge, the incantation I mutter is really just a way to focus myself and change my body. Typically, humans don't have any lines which allow magical energy to pass through their body. To temporarily change my body to create a pseudo version of lines, I need enough of concentration and to unify the entire physical and nervous system. Magecraft is a battle with yourself. For example, I insert a burning steel rod into my backbone. The steel rod itself is the one and only magical circuit I can prepare for myself. By passing this deep into my body and connecting it to my lower nerves, I can finally be a mage. This is not a metaphor. And if you look closely, a series of metal rods, which cannot normally be seen and touched, pierce my backbone. Kuretsugu Emiya was a mage. He was a true mage who disciplined himself in a wide variety of mystics, pumped by the deeper secrets of the world and its workings, and even performed miracles. And as a young child, I admired Kuretsugu and begged him to teach me magecraft. But you can't just become a mage. You have to be born with talent and inherit a tremendous amount of knowledge. I obviously never had that inborn talent, and Kuretsugu never imparted any knowledge about magecraft to me. I was told it wasn't necessary for me, something like that. I still don't understand what he meant by that. But it didn't matter to me as a child. I always thought learning magecraft would bring me much closer to being like Kuretsugu. I was blessed with neither I was blessed neither with talent, that is, an abundance of magical circuits within me, nor was generations of magecraft knowledge handed down to me. The magicraft Kuretsugu possessed, the magic crest passed down from the Emiya family, can only be passed on to a blood relative. A magic crest, which is proved for when one is a mage, rejects any not blood related. As an adopted son, I could not receive the Emiya family's crest. Then again, since I honestly don't have any idea what the hell a mage crest even is, it doesn't matter much whether I have one or not. It's just a matter of gaining the ability. If I want to be a mage, I just have to learn magecraft that suits the talents I do have. Magecraft is, taking it to its extreme, supposedly meant to release magical energy. You could say that magical energy is a life force. Magical energy is separated into two sources: mana, which comes from the world's atmosphere, and odd, which is a creation within living creatures. Obviously, mana, which comes from the world itself, is superior to odd. The sheer power of the world's mana is simply not even comparable to the odd one human can create. No matter the form it takes, magecraft utilizing mana will always surpass anything created from an individual's odd. So a powerful mage is one who excels at drawing magical energy from the world. It's a lot like a filtration system. A mage will use their own body circuits to draw in mana from the outside and convert it into something usable. Mages call the circuits they use to accomplish this magic circuits. This is the inborn talent part. The number of magic circuits one has is determined at the moment of birth. I'm going to take a what? I'm actually going to take a quick bio break. Give me a sec. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Typically, humans have hardly any magical circuits. They're normally quite rare. That's why mages will spend generations trying to ensure their descendants have a body more suitable for magic. Some families even go as far as to practice selective breeding in order to increase the number of magic circuits in their children. Since I was raised in a normal family, I never had a chance of having much in the way of magic circuits. That left me only one option. According to Kiritsugu, everyone is well suited to one specific form of magecraft. He also said something about drawing out magical energy based on a person's origin, but I never quite understood that part. What I do understand is that even someone like me can use at least one form of magecraft. If I can do that, then maybe I can be like Kiritsugu. And that's why I've only learned this one magecraft. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kiritsugu took me as a disciple, though he never seemed happy about it. I guess I knew no fear as a child. Kiritsugu smiled bitterly, placing a hand atop my head as I nodded enthusiastically. I guess Kiritsugu didn't want me to be a mage. But I didn't care about that. I admired Kiritsugu, not mages. As long as I can be the sort of person who lives to help others, like Kiritsugu on that day of Fire and Nightmare. I got distracted. I feel the uncomfortable sensation of the iron rod in my backbone moving where it shouldn't. Losing control of my breathing now would be fatal. The pseudo-magic circuits would overwhelm my body and shred it to pieces. And that would be the end of me. Miyashiro would simply be a novice who died because he failed at an elementary step. I grip my teeth and try to recover my connection. After pain like walking through a storm of needles, the iron rod finally sinks deep into my body and fuses with me. I've been working on this for a little over an hour. And after all that time, I'm finally able to create a pseudo circuit, a circuit capable of creating magical energy using my own self. Basic structure analysis. What's left is to allow the magical energy to flow naturally. Amiya Shiro is no mage. He is just a user of magecraft who can only create magical energy with his body and channel it into objects. And that's why I can only do one thing with this magecraft, which is composition analyze, enhancing objects. It's just strengthening magic, where I apprehend an object's structure and channel magical energy to temporarily reinforce its abilities. Basic structure, alter. I hold a broken iron pipe. I pass magical energy through it to execute the most basic magecraft, to enhance its durability. Passing magical energy into something other than yourself is like mixing poison. My blood is a far cry from the blood of an iron pipe. Forcing in an entire different sort of blood through an object may well destroy it rather than enhance it. To prevent that from happening, I need to properly understand the object's structure and pass magical energy through it between the small vacant spaces. Composition, reinforce. This may be easy for a skilled mage, but since I have a hard time gathering magical energy in the first place, I even a task like this is as difficult as shooting an arrow and hitting a target several hundred meters from you. A typical archery target is 28 meters away. So it goes without saying how hard it would be to hit a target from 10 times that distance. My body temperature suddenly plummets. The fiery pillar passing through my backbone disappears, and my lungs sees in desperate need of oxygen. My back arches in an effort to keep me from passing out. Damn, I failed again. The iron pipe is unchanged. The magical energy I pass through it appears to have dispersed. Damn, adding to something that it already has a set form is hard. What I'm attempting to do is like adding extra brushwork to a completed work of art. Adding something extra to a completed object raises the risk of compromising the object's integrity. The paintbrush, hoping to improve, may actually devalue the work instead. Which is why, despite its simplicity, strengthening the magic is so difficult, and not many mages willingly use it. And it's not that I chose this, but it's really all I can do. It would be much easier if I could make something from shapeless clay, but a substitute that just recreates its form is all show and no substance, which explains all the junk around. Whenever I fail at strengthening magic, I try to make a substitute object to practice and calm down, but they all end up empty. I can visualize the structure of an object easily, and I can recreate something very similar, but it's hollow, and obviously doesn't function at all. I wipe the sweat off my brow. I realize I'm absolutely dripping with sweat. If this is as bad as it got, I should consider myself lucky. but what happened earlier was really bad. Had I taken even a second longer to recover, my internal organs would probably be mush right now. If only pushing myself to the brink of death helped me improve. There'd be some hope here. If only I was a Saiyan. But nothing comes that easily. At the same time, fear of death will stand in the way of improving my magecraft. Learning magecraft means courting death at every turn. Even rudimentary, everyday magecraft can spin wildly out of control from a single mistake, ending the caster's life. Kuretsugu always looked sad whenever you brought that up. Maybe it was his way of saying he didn't want me getting into any of this. Saving one person means not saving oneself. Being a hero of justice means you need to be an extremely egocentric person. That was always his line. Kuretsugu always said whenever I mentioned wanting to be like him, I still don't know what... always said that whenever I mentioned and wanting to be like him. I still don't know what he meant by that. All I'm certain of is that I want to save people, to be a hero of justice, like Kuretsugu Emiya. But I can't even manage the basics. I'm such an idiot for letting myself get distracted at the most crucial moment. It's not enough for me to just grasp at an object structure visually. A skilled mage would be able to focus only on the crucial areas and efficiently channel magical energy. My dream is to become a hero of justice. I remember what Fujini mentioned at dinner. I never really thought of that goal as embarrassing or impossible. That Shiro Emiya will succeed Kuretsugu Emiya, and has already been decided. That's why I've been doing everything I can, despite how sorely I lack in experience. I don't know exactly what it means to be a hero of justice. But because I don't know, I train myself to the best of my abilities in the hopes that I'll be useful to somebody. I haven't taken an eye off the goal these past 5 years, but whenever things go wrong like this, I start to have doubts. I just don't get it, old man. What the hell do I have to do to be a hero of justice? Well, first you find an alien to give you special powers, complete with a suit just made of latex. I look up at the sky through a window. It's not just about being good for someone out of the blue. But saving someone and being a hero of justice are two different things. I know that, but what do I have to do to differentiate them? I've yet to understand that crucial concept for the past 5 years. February 1st. One day 2. I awake to darkness. I guess I'm not much for dreaming, unless something big happens. I always have the same dream anyway. I always envision a sword. I have no idea why, but that's the only thing that pops into my head. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Because this is what defines me as, well, me, as Shiro Omiya. I don't have any dreams of my own. The only thing on my mind and while I sleep are what others taught me long ago. For example, how to be mage. Even if I'm not a full-fledged mage, it's only natural for a mage to be aware of the world they're in. Put simply, a mage is an irregular, an outcast from society. But even outcasts need to band together to survive. My old man told me there is a society of mages called a Mages Association. He also told me I shouldn't ever get involved with them. The Mages Association is said to conceal the existence of magecraft and manage mages. The Mages Association watches over mages and makes sure their magecraft doesn't affect society. But the strange thing is that they don't really prohibit mages from abusing magecraft either. According to Kuretsugu, the Mages Association is only interested in concealing mystics. Even if, say, a mage carried out an experiment and that sacrificed, let's say, a lot of citizens, the association wouldn't punish them. Their priorities are expressly in preventing the public from becoming aware of magecraft, which does not mean magecraft which does not mean magecraft is completely banned. Honestly, anything goes as long as the truth doesn't come out. At least that seems to be how that insane bunch conducts themselves. Whatever it is, the Mages Association's surveillance is absolute. Typical magecraft research sacrifices the lives of ordinary humans, which in turn risks revealing the existence of magecraft to the world. As such, the Mages Association doesn't permit research that would harm society. Ultimately, mages conduct their research in the privacy of their own homes, while the world is none the wiser. So mages sometimes go into hiding to escape the association's scrutiny and oversight. So there may be some mages living in the town, and I just don't know, it. I also fear Fuyuki is a spiritual. I also hear Fuyuki is a spiritual hotspot of sorts. That probably means there's something prestigious. That probably means there's some prestigious mages with a storied history living here. They're called second owners, elite mages, elite mages the association trusts to watch over territory. Other mages who live in the same area must visit these second owners first to get permission to build their workshops. My old man is an outlaw who cut ties with the association and moved here without the consent of Fuyuki's second owner. So in a way, our family is a bunch of trespassers living in a house without permission from the landlord. Which means the second owner doesn't know that Kuretsugu Omiya was a mage. So I tend to feel our family's status as mages is kind of unclear. But even my old man and the bona fide mage, died. And even though I'm his disciple and son, I don't know a thing about the Mages Association and have no real knowledge about being a mage. I have a feeling the association would want to dispose of someone like me, but they haven't made any sort of move. Apparently, the Mages Association doesn't have any eyes in Japan, so that's probably why I haven't been found yet. But that doesn't mean I can let my guard down. The eyes of the Mages Association are said to be everywhere, and if someone commits a crime using magecraft, if the Church's heretic hunters will make their move. Using magecraft, however half-assed you may be about it, makes you enemies. So with all that in mind, I honestly just want to study being a mage on my own. I wake up as the sunlight starts to pour through the window. Looks like the sun's is now coming up. It's still dark out. It's cold. Waking up in the morning is getting tough. I get up, trying not to let the morning cold discourage me, and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. I've always been an early riser, no matter how late I go to bed. I might mess up once in a while, like yesterday, but that's rare. Okay, breakfast. I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, so it would look kind of bad if I didn't return the favor this morning. I should hurry up and finish making breakfast before Sakura comes. I cook rice and make miso soup. Yesterday the soup had daikon radish and carrots, so I'm making onion and potato miso soup today. I make an egg omelet and use the leftover konyaku to simmer with bonito flakes. I make incisions into the sour fish, which will be the main dish, and sprinkle it with a little salt. All I have to do is broil it, but that can wait until the last minute. Okay, that'll do it. It's almost 6. I finished earlier than expected, so I may have some time on my hands. So what should I do with this extra time? Guess I'll work up a quick sweat if I have so much time. There was a pause there, like it would have given me a choice. Oh, it just would have been a different scene if but that's for later. I guess I'll work up a sweat if I have so much time. Morning exercise is my daily routine, so I might as well do some light workouts. The hushed atmosphere of an empty dojo encourages one to focus. And in the morning, just as the sun rises, its serenity makes the mood even more sacred, enthralling whoever visits the site. Anyway, there's only one thing I do here. Ever since my old man died, the dojo has turned has turned and into just a gym to train my body. Training to be a mage means I can't neglect training my body. One of the conditions of being a mage is maintaining yourself at your physical peak. When Kuretsugu was alive, he and I sparred often. Well, more that he just kicked my ass every time. So no, I never really learned. I never really learned how to win myself. God damn. But at least I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I learned the difference between killing and beating an opponent, and how to conduct myself in such a situation. Knowledge and experience are different. Without the knowledge to know the difference, it's hard to tell if you've gotten yourself into a fight or a massacre. It's as simple as that. Learning magecraft means that there is a risk of perishing on your own, as well as a risk of having to fight. And to mages, that means killing each other. That's why Kuretsugu wanted to teach me that I must always be ready to face death. But the person reminding me of that lesson is long gone. So the only thing I can do alone is some simple exercises. I guess I better get on with it. After I stretch to warm up, I focus my inner strength and begin my exercises. As I train my body, I assess how my magic circuits affect my blood flow, my skeletal frame creaking, and the fatigue I feel, and how much that all distracted my thoughts. 120, 120, 150, 170. Even simple push-ups can train my magic circuits, as long as I focus on my mental state rather than putting physical weights on my body. With no proper mentor teaching me magecraft, morning training is no different than what most sports clubs do, and they have become very important to me. Yeah, it's all done. All that's left is to set the dishes and grill the fish. Sakura is clearly eager in her reply, and coming in and behind and her the ever dependable Sakura. Fujini casually heads to the table. Well, let's just ignore her for now. I need to grill and prepare the fish. Sakura, use the middle set of plates. The food will look better on those. Yeah, those. Grilled meats tend to look good tend not to look good if you don't plate them well. And I've already grated the daikon. Sakura reaches as far to take out the plates. As she reaches out, I think I see a faint bruise on the back of her hand. Sakura, hold on a minute. What's that bruise on your hand? She averts her eyes, looking uneasy. Her reaction makes how she got the bruise clear. Is it Shinji again? I can't believe he beats his own sister. And there you go. I should have actually included included abuse in the trigger warning.
違います先輩。これは転んでぶつけちゃったんです。ほら、私鈍いでしょ。だからよく転んで怪我ばっかりしてるんです。
How stupid do you think I am? Nobody gets bruises like this from just from falling. Seems like Shinji really needs some sense smacked into him.
ダメです先輩。これ本当に兄さんは関係ないんです。私が一人で怪我をしただけなんですから、先輩に怒ってもらう資格なんてありません。
Sakura fell silent. Sakura. Sakura may seem docile, but she's surprisingly stubborn. There's no use saying anything to her now. Fine, if you say so. I'll leave it at that.
はい。ごめんなさい、先輩。
I still say we should beat that little shit's ass. Yes, I'm sorry. Oh. Why are you apologizing? Shinji's the one in the wrong. The moment I say Shinji's name, Sakura awkwardly looks away. It can only mean he is the cause of the bruise on her hand. Shinji Mato has a bad habit of treating his younger sister like crap. I noticed it about a year ago. Every now and then I see Sakura injured, and she always made excuses when I ask what happened. When I asked Shinji about it, he revealed to my shock that he'd been the one who hit Sakura. I asked why, and he told me it was because she'd done something he hadn't liked. Again, should have put in the trigger warning for abuse. I got pretty pissed off, so I did to Shinji what he'd done to Sakura. We haven't been on great terms since then. Good riddance.
先輩、兄さんとは仲直りしてくれましたか？
Huh? Yeah, sure. I never fought. We never fought in the first place, but there's not much call for so there's not much call for making up.
先輩にとってはそうでしょうけど、兄さんにとっては喧嘩をしたことになるんです。だから気をつけてください。
Thanks for the redeems, Nanalia. What Sakura says strikes me as odd. Be careful of Shinji.
はい、兄さん、先輩を目の敵にしてるって聞きました。先輩が退部するようになったのも兄さんのせいだって。
Shinji had nothing to do with me quitting. Well, he might have been a factor, but it's nothing that you should worry about. Shinji's right. This is a little unsightly. I point to my left shoulder. There's a little scar there. It happened about 1.5 years ago. Something fell on me during one of my jobs, injuring my left shoulder. I ended up with just a broken bone, but I also came away with a burn on my shoulder. A broken bone and a burn. There's nothing just about that. After the accident, I quit the Kyudo club. Our school's Kyudo club, out of respect for formalities, allows students to perform sacred shooting rituals. Male students participating in this expose their left shoulder. Shinji pointed out that it may be disrespectful for someone performing a sacred shot to expose a scar. And since I was getting busy with various jobs, I decided to quit the club. Shinji is a fucking asshole. I don't know if this is true in Japan though. Anyone who's knowledgeable about Japan, let me know. Like, is this actually a culture thing, or is Shinji just being an asshole?
先輩、しつこいようですけど、本当にもう弓は引かないんですか？藤村先生も怪我なんて支障はないって言ってるのに。
Huh, Fujimi would say that even if I'd broken every bone in my body.
先輩、私、真面目な話をしているんです。
I know I should give her a serious answer, but unfortunately I can't give Sakura the answer she's looking for. I don't have time to do club activities. I like Kyudo, but it's not something I should prioritize, so I think I'll give it a rest for a while.
しばらくって、どのくらいですか？
However long I feel like. Or maybe until it's time for you to graduate. I'm looking forward to having you look after me then, Sakura. I pat Sakura's shoulder.
はい、私、その時をお待ちしています。
She nods so violently it looks like she might drop the plates.